Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ljs Garage, and I'm sitting in a 2014 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Unlimited. So let's find out exactly what Jeep means when they say freedom and fun go hand in hand. This is called the Wrangler JK, which was available from 2006 to 2018. I don't know about you guys, but I've always been a fan of the Unlimiteds. That's the four-door version of the Wranglers. And I'm not the only one, because about 3/4 of the Wranglers sold today are actually the Unlimited, the four-door. And it makes a lot of sense. So the Wrangler JK came in a couple different trims. I won't go into all the details of the specific trims, but it also came in a couple special editions. And one of the trims that I want to point out is this specific one, which is the Rubicon. This is kind of the off-road experience, right off the showroom floor, you're ready to go off-roading kind of Jeep. So now I'm gonna jump out of the back of this thing and show you guys around and point out a couple different things on the Rubicon, and then we'll take it for a drive and have some fun and see what this Jeep's about. If you guys are new to the channel and enjoy automotive content, consider subscribing to the channel. But whoever you are, definitely hit that like button. If you guys haven't seen my video on the Wrangler TJ, go ahead and check that out. I'll leave that in the comment section below. But one of the best things that I always say about any sort of Jeep is the ability to customize, to make them your own. And one of my favorite things here is that you can put whatever wheel cover you want on this extra spare back here. And you can have, your favorite football team, your favorite cheerleader logo, picture of your wife, your husband, whatever it may be. So Jeep has that option available. Since this is a Jeep and it actually does have a lot of functionality, something I want to point out is it's got this tow hitch and a tow hook, both of which are awesome features to have on one of these because you can actually tow about 3,500 pounds, or I should say freedom units for those of you guys that are American. Jeep has a recipe that they use, and it's one of those things where you say, I've seen a Jeep, so I've seen them all kind of thing. One of those features that you notice is this square taillight. You see this type of taillight and you know that it's a Jeep. As always, we're gonna take a look in the trunk, or in this case, the loading bay, or dock, or trunk, or whatever you wanna call it, because it's kind of in like a pickup truck style right now, so you can kind of load things from the top. But as you guys can see, there's a good bit of space back here. One of the things I learned after owning a Jeep was that when you start to take off certain things, like your doors, your side mirrors go with them. But Jeep has you covered because your third brake light actually stays attached to the door. So you open and close it and it stays. You take the top off, it stays. One thing you do get with the Rubicon, from the factory that is, you do get these mud terrain tires. They're 32 inches and they come with 17-inch wheels. If you don't know by now, these doors are removable. I won't do that in this video, but it's a super simple process. All you do is you just take off these two screws right here, slide right out, and the door pops out of its hinges. There's a little safety latch on the inside, but real easy, takes no time, and something that you can do on a perfect, great day like today. You just pop the doors right off. There aren't a lot of labels around this Jeep, but two of the things that I want to point out, it's got Wrangler Unlimited. That's how you know that you've got the four-door. That's the Unlimited. And then right here, it says Rubicon. So for those of you guys that are driving around on the road and you want to know what kind of Jeep someone's got, it says it right there, Rubicon. If you guys are anything like me, you like to know why certain manufacturers name things what they do. And I learned that the Rubicon is actually named after a trail in California. I'm using this angle right here to show you guys that there's a lot of similarities between the two and four-door Wranglers. One of the things I want to point out that's a big difference is your towing capacity. It's improved in the four-door as well as your cargo space, as you can imagine, as well as your seating capacity. That's also improved from like 4 to 5 people. And then really other than that, the turning radius is better on the two-door. That's really the only benefit, I guess. Up front, you've got the traditional Jeep headlights, the traditional Jeep grille, the traditional Jeep latches, traditional Jeep windshield, which for those of you guys that don't know, this windshield is actually still foldable. So you can put this down just like you could on the CJs and the old Jeep from the back in the day, For those of you that don't believe me, because you may not have seen anyone actually put the windshield down on this, it's not a bad job. It'll take you probably about 25 minutes, 15 minutes if you're really good with your tools. So you're gonna remove these wiper blades, and then there are gonna be 2 screws on the inside, and then this just pivots. So you can see the hinge right here, and that's how you know that this, in fact, does fold. If you're adventurous and you decide to put this windshield down, be ready for bugs in your face. A lot of bugs in your face. So wear a helmet or use some sort of protection. For the average consumer that's not all about the Jeep life and the off-roading, there are a lot of features that the Rubicon comes equipped with. And I won't bore you guys with all the details about what those things mean. So I'm just gonna list off a few things, like there's the Rock Track 4x4 system, there's 410 gears, there's True Lock front and rear diffs, electronic front sway bar disconnect, and then you've got Dana 44 heavy duty front and rear axles. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into details as to what all that means. It just means that this is a true off-roader. It's ready to go. It's a lot of things that people would have upgraded and done anyways, but Jeep's done that for you. What I like about Jeep is they do little cool things, you know, I guess cute is the better word. But as you can see right here, they've got the little Jeep dude, which is actually a model of this specific Jeep, and he's going up a little hill or a rock or a mountain or snow, something, but adventurous nonetheless. So to pop the hood, like I said, you got these little disconnect latches. You pop those, lift up, and you find the little funny spot. Where is it? And then you just come in here and look at that. Under the hood is a 3.6 liter V6 that makes 285 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque, and it is paired to a 5-speed automatic transmission, as well as you do have the option for a 6-speed manual. Unfortunately, gas mileage in this thing is about the usual Jeep stuff. It's about 17 city, 21 highway, and you'll be lucky if you actually get that. I know what you guys are asking. How fast is this thing, LJ? Well, it does 0 to 60 in about 8.6 seconds. Look, another cute Jeep thing. Something else to point out is because this sits so high, you might want to consider getting running boards. I've got to say, Jeep has come a long way from the TJ to the JK, and the interior of this it's pretty solid. I won't say it's on the level with the German companies, but it's really, really good because now you're no longer sitting in a budget SUV and feeling like you're missing out on things like power windows. You've got those things, and you've got leather seats that say Rubicon on the stitching right there. So it reminds you that Jeep has come a long way, and I really think that they have. So I'm going to show you guys a couple things in here. There's not a whole lot, but they are cool nonetheless. You do get like the early versions of like the Uconnect system, so you do get Bluetooth, you've got navigation of some sort. It's not the best, it's not the worst. You get Sirius XM, so there are those features, but no backup camera, and that's it. As you'll see, you've got heated seats, you've got power windows, and then if you take a look over here, Jeep does these interesting climate directional knob things, but you just turn them, and I think they're fun to play with. For those of you non-Jeep owners or future Jeep owners that don't know, you do have the option to actually lock your glove boxes and these compartments right here. So now you can feel safe knowing that no one will steal your family jewels. There really isn't a whole lot else to talk about on the interior. It's just a Jeep. You've got these cargo nets all over the place. You got your shifter, you've got your 4-wheel drive controls. Other than that, it's just a Jeep. One of the benefits, just to reiterate, is that you actually get a lot more space in this than you do in the 2-door, and the price really isn't a huge difference. So I would always say go with the 4-door instead of the 2-door unless you're a college kid and you don't need the extra space. But if you take a look, I've got plenty of leg room back here, and I left the car seats in just because it shows how much room there is. So if you did have 2 kids, you could fit another adult back here. A little snug, but still comfortable. This is a whole different experience than driving like a TJ or one of the older Jeeps, just because it's refined. It's on a better platform. It's got better materials inside of the cabin. It's more, I don't know, it's more of an urban Jeep than it is a country off-roading style Jeep, even though it's a Rubicon. The automatic in this isn't too bad. It shifts pretty good. I mean, like I said, it's not a lot of power, so it doesn't really need to do a whole lot. Cruising around town, you've got plenty of pickup. You won't be flying around the highway beating Ferraris or Lamborghinis, but it will be a nice cruise to work. It's a good daily if you can get past the gas mileage. Honestly, in bad weather, that's what this Jeep is for, and that's when it shines. It really becomes an animal, it becomes an off-roader, and that's what it's more for. So you kind of have to pick your battle whenever you buy one of these. This one's on the stock setup, so if you're buying one of these and it's got some aftermarket tires and wheels and all of this, that, and the other suspension work, you won't really know what you're gonna get. But if you buy one of these stock and you enjoy it stock, it rides really, really nice. I challenge you guys to name a better 4-door convertible. I dare you. The top speed on this thing is 100 miles an hour, and about 80 or so, this starts to feel a little, I wouldn't want to use the word sketchy, but that's the most appropriate word, I guess, for this situation. And once you get past that and cruise at about 75, it's nice and comfortable, and you won't really want to go any faster than that. That's not what this is for. The last thing I want to say is that road noise isn't too bad. And then if you don't know what this experience is like and you've heard someone say, well, it's a Jeep thing, talk to one of those people. They'll explain in more details and probably a lot better of a way than I can explain what it's like to drive a Jeep. Thank you guys so much for checking out another video in LJ's Garage. Be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below what you think of the Wrangler JK.